I am I am back here again, this time at lower resolution. My storage ran out again. Yeah, I played on my on one of my drums for a while. Just wanted to notice a note that is really interesting. How my level of anxiety is much higher here. I mean, when I was at the hospital, for example, right now I just go outside and then sit somewhere in the sun, but there's no sun anywhere in the garden right now, so it would be a bit cold. And then just record those videos from there and feel much better. I mean, I think I didn't record any videos where I was talking inside the hospital. And it seems much harder here because the garden is part of the house. And yeah, the other thing is that I was playing my drums, but then my drum, I always say drums, but then my thoughts got carried away, and yeah, I quickly somehow lost the momentum, and I'm feeling quite a lot of craving just to go onto YouTube and just watch anything. And I'm afraid that's actually what I'm gonna do right now, because there's nothing. Yeah, I feel limited in my choices. I mean, certainly could someone definitely did something at my sink, probably maybe did some washing up of something, and that must have clogged it. Anyway, yeah, I feel limited in my ability to choose and act upon something. It's interesting, when I went to sleep, I was in a still in a different kind of state. I haven't taken my medication for today yet, but at the same time, I remember in the hospital, like we would have breakfast and get medications then, so well, it's not like I got anything done before that, but I think it's almost 7 in the morning, so I'm then again it's there in my bag. I cannot show it like this, but at the other end of my room in the corner, I don't even feel like having the energy just to go there and take it, because I don't like taking it. It's always kind of a it's not a word I lost. So that's also a side effect of taking tranquilizers, as well as discontinuing them, that you get those dementia-like symptoms, where you just cannot think of words, forget things and stuff like this. But I was feel like I have to overcome myself to do it. That's why I always kept my medication right next to my bed. The other option would be starting with my Ritalin again, though that's something I rather wanted to avoid because it's also makes you more imbalanced. But then, I mean, as soon as I stop recording, I'll just open up YouTube, and that's not helpful either. Usually, no. I don't think in this kind of state. I mean, I guess it's just a mechanism of fate that whatever you do, at some point something will come along and pull you out of a negative state. But that's not a good way to live life. Interesting lighting right now. Because it's not a conscious way to live life, and you don't move ahead very fast, which I mean, there's no requirement for moving ahead very fast, but in my case, in my situation, it's really paramount to do that if I wanna be in a better place, or rather a better state. And then generally, I think nowadays in these times when there's a lot of collective change in human society and the collective consciousness, it would be important for just about anyone. So we're not living in an age where it's easy to suppress anything. It will just come up and come back and haunt you and get worse. And yet the only thing I can feel inside myself is that craving just to go and watch random videos which are not even interesting. I can stall it by just staying on camera. But it doesn't feel like it changes anything. It's an interesting state. I'll see if I can tune into the parts of myself that are in pain or in some kind of intense emotional state. Interesting. This goes back to early childhood, and that's definitely related to seeing my parents today. I actually don't feel like I can make it, and I definitely should not take additional medication to be able to do it. So yeah, it's a bit sad, but at least I'm reflecting. I'm here on camera reflecting, which makes it, which puts more more consciousness and awareness into it than usually, onto the fact that I'll open up the YouTube app now and just watch videos and not leave my bed. I will get myself some water though, because the sink is just one step away, and I think I can do that. Yeah, maybe once I'm on my legs, I can also get my medication, the one I'm supposed to take, like the same stuff. It's and dosage I took while in hospital is. It's not identical to what I was being prescribed before that. For example, in hospital they removed the Ritalin, but that's been quite an interesting experience too. I rarely really took Ritalin every single day. And usually at a much lower dosage than prescribed, but I don't think I ever didn't take any at all for 2.5 weeks, and that really showed that also the level of dependence, or like the tolerance to this drug, and how I was, for example, when in occupational therapy, how I just wasn't able to function and do anything, concentrate on anything. Just tuning into my body in regards to medication. Doesn't really work determining what you need or don't need, or what's like more beneficial, less beneficial. It's rather easy to do it with foods and herbs and anything more natural than when it comes to chemical drugs. I could only do it from a different state of consciousness, so I might kind of ask my body how much of this, like which medications and how much it would it take to be able to go and make that a long ride on public transport and meet my parents and then make it back. And that would yield an answer. But when I asked, how can I? It's actually not. It's not helpful to ask anything like, how can I get out of this state? But I definitely don't want to use my time just browsing YouTube. So the question should be, how can I make myself, how can I be in this state in a more aware and conscious way? So for example, because apparently the craving just to go on YouTube is because on some level I want to distract myself from something, some feelings, something, some states that my mind, or like my subconscious mind, thinks is just too unbearable and too intense for my nervous system to go through, and to just so the ideal thing would be to actually get in touch with that state and consciously feel it, and then just go through the process. Though it's possible to get lost in that kind of reasoning as well. I remember a lot of times when I would just lie in bed for days or even weeks and just be in a very painful state, and then you get more and more locked into that. So it's important take care of oneself in the physical as well, which is something where outer structure helps, which I chose to forego right now, yesterday, or even before that, to be in a space of more freedom. Though the other thing is that for the past week or so after it's my drum, just touched it inadvertently. I was just doing the same. I was just going on YouTube, and so I guess no changing that right now, but it's nice to have had the chance to just talk about it for, I don't know, maybe even 10 minutes or whatever. Yeah, I'll just do that and check back with another entry in a while, and I can reflect some more, and it's much easier to maintain some, not necessarily a deeper level of awareness. It's actually a bit shallower if I do it like this, but it's more manifest, because I'm talking, I'm putting it into words, I'm putting it out there, and that makes it easier to. So now, even though I'm going to go onto YouTube and just watch videos, it's still there's still some kind of structure around it, because I know that I'll record another video of mine once I'm done with that, and that makes it something interesting, almost like like an experiment or some kind of research. Though I'd love to spend my time to spend my time in more productive ways, but maybe it's just that's just the way the journey goes. Oh, so sunny already. Yeah, I guess by now I might be able to find a spot in the sun in the garden. But yeah, I've told you how things are. Good. So see you later. I'm gonna descend into more distraction. I mean, recording these videos are kind of a distraction as well, but I've already talked about this. It's like it's kind of a, has its has a lot of merits to it, and also it helps with the balance of basically what you take in and what you put out, the yin and yang of life, basically. Even though the best way to balance that is creative expression, which this is in a way. I mean, I'm having thoughts and putting them into words, and I'm recording them, and I'm even putting them out so that potentially anyone could watch what I recorded. But it can be done in much more a state of flow, and so on and so on and so on. I'll just stop now, and yeah, see you in a bit. Goodbye.